Hello, lovelies. I've just finished a final session with a beautiful lady from central or western New South Wales today. And I wanted to get on here and share with you some of the realizations, some of the changes that she has found since having her breakthrough, her transformation. Now, we did a close today. We sealed in all the juicy knowledge, the emotional intelligence, the wisdom, the realizations that she gained through this process. And what she said to me when we finished that was, how do you feel now? And she said, I feel euphoric. That's the first time I've heard someone use that specific term, but that was what she felt. She felt whole, peaceful, invigorated, excited, felt brilliant. These are terms that she was feeling after and about her life in general. There was so much that changed over the last only 3 weeks. 3 weeks and everything had shifted for her. She had resolved, let me list just a couple here. Guilt, overwhelm, dread was massive. She always felt this anxious, this dread that would bubble up, and it was this pain in her gut, in her whole entire torso, really. She'd feel this dread and didn't know why it was there, and it was this horrible feeling that she just couldn't get past. She felt sad, resentful, frustrated, angry. And she was always fighting with her hubby, which she said today she'd noticed a couple of times over the last couple of weeks where she'd go, or they would go to have this fight. He'd say something and she'd say something, and he'd say something, she'd say something, and it'd end up being this argument. And then she would get to this point, she said, Maria, I would just, I can't be bothered. I don't feel this. I'm saying the words, but I really just don't feel anything. It's not worth my effort. It's just not, I just don't feel like fighting. And she would just let it go. And it's just amazing that I know it would be this massive big argument, but I'm just not bothered by this. It's not affecting me the same way it used to. And she said the other night, hubby got home and he was angry and he was snapping at things and just saying silly, cranky about this and cranky about that. And she said, I know that before, a couple of weeks ago, before Creatrix, I would think it was about me, that he was cranky, that the dinner wasn't good enough, or that I hadn't, done something at work or something at home. I would internalize it, which is a very, very female thing. We're inferential. When we see something or someone says or does or looks mad, we think it's about us. And she said, I would always go to that place. And the other night he was snapping away and I just said, what are you thinking about? What's going on? And he said, I'm just, thinking about how that bloody tipper wouldn't work this afternoon. Had nothing to do with her. And she said it was the first time, and I was just like, I asked him, what are you thinking about? What's going on? It wasn't about me. I had no feeling about it, and I just said, what's going on? Where before she would never ask, she would just assume that it was something that she'd done wrong. Now, I want you to think about how different her relationship is going to be from this point forward, where she will never again think that whenever anybody, not just hubby, whenever anybody's got the shits, she won't think it's about her, that she's done something wrong, where before she would always worry that she'd done something wrong. Now she's going to have this intelligence, this inner voice that says, ask what's going on. And she's going to have the strength and the courage and the wisdom to ask the question instead of keeping quiet, instead of wondering and wishing and worrying about what somebody else is thinking or feeling or doing. Are they blaming her for something? Are they angry at her? Are they, is she being judged for her shortcomings, which was always what she used to do? Now, she's just going to ask him, what's going on? And she's not going to care, actually, whether it is about her or not. But generally, all the worry and the fear and the noise that's going on in our head about what somebody else is thinking or what somebody else is angry about, it's not about us. 99% of the time, it's not. But as women, we go internal, we go inferential, we think everything is about it, and we connect everything to emotion. And we've got so many layers and layers and layers and layers of worry and stress and overwhelm and anxious and fear of judgment and failure and not being good enough and all of this shit that's rolling around in our head that's stopping us from asking, what is it? What's going on? What are you thinking about? What are you feeling? To anybody else. To find out what it actually is instead of staying in this horrible negative head chatter, this emotional baggage that is only bringing us down. This absolutely beautiful woman, inside and out, is now living a completely different life, and it's only been 3 weeks. And she said, I can't believe that everything has changed in this amount of time, but I feel it. I know it. I know it in my gut. And when we were going through some exercises and some tips on how to stay cleaned out, I was going through all of these different things that she could use as tools going forward. And she said to me, I've seen these and I've heard these, tips and stuff before, but I've never actually understood it. I've never got it because there was just too much stuff there. And we agreed, we talked about it. And I think this is the biggest problem with personal development right now, is because there is so much stuff, and it's good stuff. For consciously working through things. But when you have 1,000 layers of shit blocking you, if you have overwhelm and anxious and depressed and sad and worry and I don't have enough time and all of these beliefs that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I might stuff things up, it's all too hard, I'm too busy, I have no control of my life, I feel like I'm letting people down. All of this stuff, that layers and layers and layers and layers and layers, and it's just there. All of this emotion, it's like a clouded or frosted glass window. You can't see through it. When all of that personal development stuff is useful, it's when you've got a clear window. But for most of us, it's like we're in the bathroom, we're looking at that window that has the frosted, we can't see outside. We can't see past our emotional shit. We can't see past our own perspective, which is a factor of every single event that's ever happened in our lifetime. It's sitting there and it's clouding our judgment. It's like this. It's blocking our view. But when that clears, when it is no longer there, then all the other personal development stuff, all the information, all the knowledge that you've heard everywhere else, all of a sudden it makes sense and you can actually do it. Before that, when you've got all of this, nothing makes sense. And the problem with that is that for so many women, they believe that, and I was one of them, absolutely, I felt like there is something wrong with me. Why can't I make the shift? Why can't I see? Why can't I do what they're telling me to do? Go to personal development courses, go and see the gurus, do courses online, have coaches, all of that stuff. I was doing all of that. And so many other women are doing all of that. And they go internal and think, well, what the hell's wrong with me? All of those people over there, they've got it. They've done the shift. They've made the change. Everything's working for them. Why can't it work for me? I must be broken. There must be something wrong with me. And then there's another layer of emotional shit that is blocking a woman from living her best life. Now, that is a lot of women who are feeling that, but we're not talking about it. So you don't know that is what, you might be thinking that, but you don't know that the woman standing next to you is thinking exactly the same thing. We tend to think, well, we're the only one who's feeling that because no one's talking about it. And this beautiful woman today, Nikki, she felt the same way. She said, I had heard all of this stuff before, but I couldn't do it. It never made any sense to me. I had heard 100 times before that the answers are within me, but I didn't get it because I couldn't tap into that. And you will hear every guru tell you that the answers are within. All the answers you need to know are within you. But no one can tell you how to get to them except the women who are creatrix transformologists, because that is what we do. We help you to tap into those answers that are within you. You get them so clearly. Hundreds of them come through, all learnings and wisdoms and realizations. They just flow out of you. You're tapped into your own soul wisdom, which shifts everything, clears, resolves the issues that are currently causing you to be stuck or to feel emotionally drained, feel sad, feel depressed, feel anxious. It's all these layers and layers and layers of stuff that are holding you back. You are not alone in whatever you are going through. And there is an answer. There is a solution, a method that works so well that at the end you feel whole, you feel complete, you feel euphoric, you feel excited about life, you feel peace, you feel calm, you feel clarity. And all of these awesome things that for so many of us we struggle with for so long. So if any of that resonated with you, if you have been going through all of the personal development that you can get your hands on and you struggle to make the shift, to make the change that, that you hear about, that you read about, that you think everybody else has and you don't. If you've ever thought, well, there's something wrong with me, I must be broken, I'm just the only person who can't shift this shit, that's not true. But you can do it if you're ready to take a leap of faith and reach out to me and have a conversation to see if this could be for you, if Creatrix is the right tool for you. But you have to want it. And the only decision you have to make is, am I worthy? Am I worthy of fixing me? Only you can make that choice. Only you can say, because I know every single woman out there is worthy of clearing every issue, emotion, negative beliefs, sabotaging shit that is stopping them. Not everyone's ready. But if you are, then you can be like Nikki, free of guilt, of overwhelm, of dread, of blame, of being judged, feeling judged, frustrated, angry, resentful, feeling resentment, feeling loss, feeling grief, feeling regret, feeling devastated, inadequate, vulnerable, impatient, embarrassed. And I could go on, seriously, there's a list of lots and lots of things, and that's only the first page. There's another lot. They are all 0, 0, 0, 0, a couple of ones, but absolutely not any one of them is an issue for her anymore after 3 sessions. How awesome is that? I'll leave it there. I've rattled on too much. I hope some of this made sense. It just felt like something I had to get on here and share with you right now today after this amazing closing session with this beautiful client. I am here if you're ready to reach out and have a chat. If you're ready to let go of whatever it is that's holding you stuck or stopping you from moving forward, from being the best that you can. If you're sick to death of thinking that next week, next month, something will shift, something will change next year. But I've been saying that for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Then do something proactive. This is the solution, the guaranteed outcome that you've been waiting for. Bye for now.